The courgettes are doing very, very well. I should probably explain what they are. They're a short vine. I think they're a short vine pumpkin. Yeah, they were almost bush pumpkins when I grew them last year. Very resistant to a lot of common pumpkin diseases. And really good production from them. So I did weed last night, but I missed a few places. And the rest of this greenery, even though it looks messy, it's meant to be here to hopefully keep the squash bugs at bay. 2 of the 3 little hills of pumpkin seeds in this container came up. I'm trying to grow a 3rd. We'll see if it comes up. But I did plant my pumpkins outdoors this year, and I usually don't do that. So I figured since they were mostly above ground in containers, it wouldn't be such a problem, and so far it hasn't been. Because usually when you plant them in the ground, the seeds disappear, all kinds of weird stuff happens. But that didn't happen here, except maybe with that one hill. Over here we have Dynasty. I'm getting in the way here. Dynasty isn't doing so well. It's planted in the ground rather than in a container. It is miniaturized, and that's usually not a good thing. But it was 1 pumpkin too many this year, so I'm not too concerned. Here's some more Corvette pumpkins growing. Looks like a radish is in there too. What I'm growing around the pumpkin beds is white icicle radishes and catnip. There's another thing of catnip there. And the catnip was already here in the garden. The white icicle radishes, you can get big containers of seeds and just plant them all over the place. Hopefully it'll work. I know catnip does work to some extent. I've never done any experiments with the white icicle radishes before, but we'll see how they work. So, yeah. Catnip, once you have it, you can't get rid of it. It's like a weed. Over here we have Racer Plus. And that is a past favorite that I used to grow all the time. That's in these beds here. It's a little bit smaller. Doesn't have such good disease resistance, but it's a short vine pumpkin. And it has great production. There's some more Racer Plus. And over here, these are all sunflowers that came up from last year. They are miniature sunflowers. Over here, those are my tomatoes. I don't know yet if they are my Cherokee purple type tomatoes that come up in my yard every year, or if they are the cherry tomatoes that I've had since I moved in. But those are both native to my garden, so we'll see what they are. Over there is an area that was kind of poisoned when a cheap stepping stone dissolved during the winter. And I don't grow anything we're going to eat there. So those are gourds. So we'll see how the gourds do. I don't know exactly what type of gourds. I got a package of various type of gourds and threw them all in. Here's Melrose pepper with a pepper on it. Another Melrose pepper here. No hot peppers this year. And this is another Melrose pepper. I'm going to have to choose one and cut the rest back. It's finally getting big enough to do that. I don't really believe in thinning as much as I used to, because I've lost crops because of over thinning. And these I grew from seed. These are one of the tomatoes that comes up in my garden. This is the Cherokee purple type that just appeared in my garden about 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's 4 years ago. And I saved the seeds last fall, and these came up from the seeds. So this is the first time growing in a farming situation or a gardening situation. So far so good. More Melrose pepper, another This was supposed to be a Melrose pepper, but it's got a tomato in with it, so I think that's probably one of the Cherokee purples. Or my Cherokee purple. Over here we've got Galahad, which is a tomato that is resistant to blight, which we have a big problem with around here. So I grew those from seed too, so they're rather small, and I have some more weeding to do, I see. And right here, another sunflower that came up on its own. And here we have Bush Champion cucumber. So yeah, coming along nicely. Little behind, but we had a long, slow spring. So and we've had heat waves since then, which also slows the plants down a little bit. At least it slows most of them down. So yeah, that's the garden so far. And next week I'll start on gardening subjects. So you have a good week. I'll see you next week.